Bro, you were old for Barney.
He was a positive force for good. Gen Z, Millennial, the battle that rages on, day in and day out. Which one's better? Which one's hotter? Which one's cooler? Which one's got the most skibbity riz?
That was awesome.
That was sick,
That was
dude.
awesome.
Whoa, that was
really good.
Crossing over into all generations.
Was that off the dome? You didn't rehearse that at all?
You didn't write that?
I stood in the mirror for like 2 hours this morning and practiced that.
Yeah.
I was really practicing my material today. It was just that intro.
That was good.
That was good.
Yeah, you gave us a tight 30 seconds.
Yeah. It was worth it.
I'm working on my tight 30, where I tell one mediocre joke and then leave. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Lunchtime with Smosh.
We have a very special person here with us.
Yay.
Our very own Gen Z special boy, Trevor.
Hi. Hello. Happy to be here as the young guy.
I saw when you came on as cast, some people were like, when are they going to get a cast member that was born after the year 2000?
Yeah. Not me.
They always want
Sorry.
more.
6 months.
Younger.
No, July
99.
1999. Yeah.
Oh, do you know where you were in 2001?
I think I wrote that when Erin asked me to like send an outline of things. I think I literally wrote that I don't remember 9/11.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure you came out the womb the same summer that The Matrix came out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, did you come out like this?
I think I was conceived while my parents were watching The Matrix, actually.
Oh, because they got the early release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So today we're going to be talking about each of our favorite childhood games, TV shows, movies. We got to find out which generation actually had the better childhood.
Yeah, we're viewing it through the lens of what did Gen Z come up in, what did Millennial come up in, and which one's better?
Yeah.
There will only be one victor.
Nobody's ever, I think we might be the first people to ever pit these two generations together in any sort of comparison.
Yeah, and it's really up to us to decide. I mean,
Yeah.
we're the ultimate authority at the end of the day.
Yeah, three white guys.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
we're the authority on our generation. So yeah, we're gonna be talking. Yeah, I don't know. What do we want to start with?
Well, did you bring your favorite childhood snack? I heard that's going to be our treat for today, our lunchtime treat.
I think so. I think we've got a treat in store. Actually, I told Erin multiple snacks, so I'm curious which one
Multiple
we
snacks.
We have all of them.
I'm scared.
All of them?
Great. For the listeners, we're on the computer setup today because we're gamers.
Nice.
Gamers.
And so that means I have access to the soundboard.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Trevor, actually, will you
Yeah.
reveal to us the dish you brought today?
Yes.
Oh.
My God.
Oh.
It's here.
Are those wafers, goldfish, cheddar, 100% real cheese?
I don't think
Yeah.
I could eat any of these things.
Me neither.
Oh my God.
Me neither.
Dude, come on. No. Okay,
None of these are vegan or
This
gluten
is
free.
all you, bro.
Okay. No, so let me go one by one. Goldfish I eat to this day. It's just my favorite snack probably of all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I eat goldfish. I get the big things at Costco.
Okay.
No, I used to eat so many goldfish when I was younger.
Yeah. Nilla wafers are one of my all-time favorites.
I grew up with Nilla wafers.
Yeah, they're awesome. I think Nilla wafer, that was the first time I ever felt like unsatisfied in my life. Because in kindergarten, we would have like snack time, and Nilla wafers was one of the snacks we get, and we'd only get like 2 of them. And I remember every time I was like, I want more.
It's
this
not enough.
isn't satisfying me. I desire for more.
Yeah.
So now when you have them, do you eat like the whole bag?
Yeah, I eat them all, every single one. These were insane though. Do you remember Grips?
Okay,
feel
so I
like
don't know these.
I feel like these were invented way later in life.
Anthony feels like he would have been like a Grips guy.
he would
Yeah.
have been a
Probably.
Grips kid for sure.
What I think I have seen the Grips Cheez-Its version. They're just tiny versions of them, right?
Yeah, but you have to see the commercials. The commercials were insane because the whole idea was that you throw them into your mouth. So like in elementary school, oh crap, the whole thing was like you'd have these commercials of these people doing insane tricks, like bouncing them off things to catch them in your mouth.
Oh shit!
So that's
Whoa.
like, that was it. That's like I spent just like at recess, at like lunchtime, I would just have a bag of these and I'd just be
Wow.
throwing them in the air.
So not only are they tasty, but they're improving your hand-eye coordination.
Exactly.
So they made Grips versions. So for those that are just listening, Grips they're kind of shaped like bullets.
Oh,
Bullets?
No,
Yeah.
Ian.
That's not shaped like a bullet?
Yeah.
Stop
Like a bullet
bringing up
without the
bullets.
casing.
It looks like a half sphere.
Yes,
It's a small
like
half
It's like a bullet without the casing.
Stop
bullet
bringing
part
up
of the
bullets in every episode.
I can't believe you guys don't get to share in this with me.
I get to
So
watch.
sad.
Wait, let me smell it.
Yeah, give it a sniff. That's so good.
Oh, ooh, that smells very good. That's just as good as eating it.
Can I smell your Nillas?
Yeah, you can smell my Nillas.
Oh,
Dude, they're
man.
so good. You get these in like a banana cream pie too.
Oh, yep.
I want to get into games. Because you're a gamer boy.
I'm a gamer. Yes, one thing I'm known for.
I was a gamer boy.
Okay.
I still kind of am, but as a child, that's all I did was play games.
As a little kid, I wasn't really allowed to play games.
Yeah, I know, right?
I would go over to my friend's house to play games.
Interesting.
I remember seeing Resident Evil 1 for the first time, and that scared the out of me.
Yeah, and you thought it was called President Evil?
Yeah, I was like, President Evil? He's like, no, Resident Evil. I was like, President? Because I never heard the...
so funny.
I was so young, I'd never heard the word resident before.
That actually is really funny that you bring that up because my first introduction into the Resident Evil franchise was through the movies.
Oh,
I experienced
Wow.
the movies.
Jovovich?
Yeah, before I ever experienced a game, and that freaked the out of me.
That's
Because I remember being a kid and like my parents would be like watching a movie and like, you know, I'd walk down to the living room or something and like that was so scary.
Do you have? Is there one scene that stands out to you? Because there's one scene from that movie that stands out to me that still
lasers?
horrifies me. Yes. Do you remember the lasers?
The lasers, I don't know. The one that got me was like when they're in like the bus and like the flying like the birds or whatever.
But you're talking about like a later Resident Evil movie.
Oh, you
right?
must
You're probably
be.
not talking about the first movie.
I might be talking about like a later one. I'm not sure.
must.
Yeah, because the first one just takes place inside the compound, right?
Oh,
I've actually never seen it, but I remember you showing me the f***ing laser room where like this like invisible laser, they get stuck in this room and this laser goes woo, through all of them.
Oh no!
And then they just go like.
Oh, the other body
that's
just falls
crazy.
apart.
No,
That was
That would
horrifying.
have terrified me as a kid.
All I saw was the beginning of the Resident Evil game where it was like, you know, they're running away from the dogs. And like, as a kid, I remember that being like really scary. And then like when they reveal the first zombie and it like turns around.
Yeah, that was horrifying.
And I was like, what the f? But like watching back now, it's so corny and so shitty looking.
There's still
like,
something eerie about it, though. They did
Yeah.
nail the eerie vibes.
Yeah.
but the live action stuff was like
Yeah.
so corny and
Yeah.
bad. Anyway,
Jill, you almost got turned into a Jill sandwich.
he's like this.
Yeah.
One great thing that the video games had when we were growing up was LAN, was like local area network games. So like playing with other people in the room,
Yeah.
like I guess multiplayer split screen as well. But like that was the only way to play with other people. And I feel like there was something that was like really fun about being next to the person. Like I remember playing like in middle school, we had worms. It's just a weird thing to say.
He
In middle school, we had
doesn't mean he
worms.
had worms.
Worms Armageddon.
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
like, have you ever played Worms?
No.
This was one
Dude,
of them.
Worms was so good. You don't even know what Worms is?
I don't know what
This was
Worms is.
Ian's shit.
Bro.
He would always be trying to play with me.
I was actually
Yeah.
when you came over the other night, I was thinking before you came over, I was like, oh yeah, I have one of like the newer Worms on Xbox.
So we almost played Worms?
Haven't you guys played
play Worms.
Worms on the Games Channel?
Did we?
I don't know if we did. Type in Worms Armageddon. That's the one that we all grew up with, and that's like kind of the like a side scroller platformer kind of game where you're all a bunch of these little worms,
Oh, wow.
and you use weapons to hit each other off of the map.
Okay.
So you have to like sink them in the water, or they have to basically fall in the water.
It would blow up the
Interesting.
land, and then they'd either fall in the water or get like thrown off to the side,
Oh,
or
wow.
you would deplete their health.
Yeah. So
But I think you
use-
could. I think like 12 people could play at once.
Yeah,
That's
and you
awesome.
can have like a team. Dude, that game was so good. And they had like all these like silly weapons. Like they had this like super sheep where you like launch it out and then he would like have a cape and he would fly around and you like try to fly the sheep into people.
Yeah. No, it was a really good game.
Yeah, this game rocked and all the little voices were very silly.
Yeah.
That looks great. I remember LAN parties. Like I was pretty young, but my parents actually they like led the college group at their church. and they would have all of the college kids over for Halo nights. We would, like, everyone would bring over their TVs and their Xboxes, and I'd just have like 16 like
That's
college
crazy.
kids.
Lugging your TV, your CRT
That's
so
TV.
Insane, yeah, and we just have like all of them hooked up throughout the house, and we'd just be playing Halo 2. That's Halo 2 might be my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
That was like
It's
the
up
game
there,
that I grew up
definitely.
on. Like, that was it for me.
I think the fact that you had to play like that almost made the moments that you had playing multiplayer so much better.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, just being in like a room and being able to just go talk to anyone and like talk shit to anyone in the house, like look them in the face,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
get up in their face and be like, you suck.
So you lived the LAN experience then.
Yeah, I definitely, like, when I was younger though, I
Okay.
didn't like I online was pretty early on, I think, into my gaming experience. Just started like playing online with people.
Well, I remember this is the oldest thing I could ever say, but I remember the first time I saw a Nintendo 64, and I freaked the out when I saw it was split into 4, and there was 4 people that could play on one console at a time. It was the first console where you could have 4-person
Yeah.
multiplayer.
Yeah, that's true. Because Super NES.
The previous generation was all 2.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
So
awesome.
it blew my mind. Just seeing the console with 4 ports, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I remember the first time I held the N64 controller, I was 10, and I was like, I found a secret button on back.
Oh yeah.
Like, I thought that I was the only person that found that Z button.
That's so funny.
Right. Because for some reason I don't really have like a great memory of my childhood, and I don't think that's like because of trauma. Who knows? But I do specifically remember.
You'll find out sometime maybe,
Yeah.
or you won't.
Maybe I won't. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I do specifically remember going to Target, and there was an N64 floor model.
Yeah, that's where I first saw it. It was at Toys R Us.
It was like a demo model.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
you can like play it, and they had like GoldenEye on there. And I was like,
Oh,
what the is this?
yeah.
It was sick.
Awesome.
The first game I saw was Mario 64. But that actually,
wow.
I was the biggest Nintendo nerd ever. I had like every Nintendo Power magazine. I was so into it. And that brings me to the game that I wanted to show you all today. I want to know if you remember this. I think you will.
Okay.
Have you heard of Mario Teaches Typing?
Mario teaches typing? No, that's awesome.
So in elementary school, I think I must have been like 3rd or 4th grade, maybe even younger.
Damn.
But it was when Super Nintendo was the newest console. You would go to computer class, and they would try to teach you how to type, and no kids want to learn how to type. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
They just want to play games. So then they brought in Mario Teaches Typing, loaded it on every computer, and every kid was just there learning how to type while playing Mario.
Oh my God.
Are we gonna?
Let me show you. Yeah, here, I'll just pull it up.
See, I grew up with Mavis Beacon.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Mavis. Dude, Mavis can get it.
What?
Well, you can play this?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
You can play it online?
Yeah, I loaded it up yesterday.
I feel like we're gonna get a virus.
We might.
Dude, I'm going home and playing this tonight.
Interplay made this?
Is that a thing that still exists?
I don't think so, but they made Fallout.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so the people that made Fallout made Mario
I'm
Teaches
pretty
Typing?
sure Interplay made the first
It
two.
says 1992, dude.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure Interplay made the first 2 Fallout games.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, we have Mario on the screen, and he's holding up a peace sign, and
Look at these graphics, dude.
there's just lessons.
Here, let's go here.
Oh my God.
Dude, this
Did
is
you
how
hear the
I learned
voice?
how to
There's
type.
swamps and stuff.
Wait.
Hold on,
Oh,
you gotta hear.
the American Revolutionary War?
Oh, so this is like. This is also like American propaganda.
Oh my God.
I can't.
It is a static
Oh.
image. Oh no, every sentence you type, you go past a thwomp.
Oh crap. Oh my God, it's also teaching about the colonists declared their independence.
Okay,
I didn't know I was
so-
being brainwashed as a kid.
Yeah, this is you're getting
British
propagandized.
Empire.
This is why people wonder why Americans only know stupid stuff about America. It's because this is what we were taught.
Bro, you
Yeah.
made 25 errors. And you're not using home keys, bro.
Dude, no, you made it past though.
See,
This is so insane. This music goes hard.
Mario looks kind of worried.
It's like stressing me out.
Well, yeah, because he's learning about the Declaration of Independence while about to be smashed.
It looks like a fake Mario like ripoff though. Like it
Okay.
looks like
He did
That's
it.
unbelievable.
So he passed the thwomp. This is
Thank you.
definitely.
What is this pipe?
I
This
don't
isn't
know.
like real Mario.
No, because this is the company that made Fallout.
He's
oh no,
about to
he's
die.
drowning.
no!
Mario's drowning in sand now.
Oh, you
I'm gonna let him die.
to save Mario.
I'm gonna let him die.
I want to learn about General George Washington though.
So anyway, this is clearly how I learned how to type.
Yeah.
You know what's
that's amazing.
crazy? That reminded me of the first game that I ever played. Have you ever heard of Math Blaster?
Math
I
Blaster.
briefly heard about it. Was that
Yeah.
something you played when you were younger?
Yeah, well, I didn't play it in school. I think my parents bought it.
So clearly
see-
our generation's better.
Yeah.
Because
Clearly.
our video games taught us math and about
Wait.
George Washington.
I have a game that I have to tell you about because it's so insane looking back.
Was it educational?
Well, it was in a way Math Blaster. Oh. No way.
No
what is
way.
this website? Play
don't know.
classic
No
games.
way. How do they?
Click on the screen.
No way.
Please enter your name.
Enter your name.
Ian.
Is this what you played when you were
Spot
younger?
and me on our space
Yeah.
adventures.
This
Trash Zapper.
This looks like the oldest game of all time.
Find them.
Find the missing
One.
item. 1. Oh, I did it.
This
Okay.
is what you were
Plus
doing?
one.
This is exactly like how your parents wouldn't have any of the good food in the house. They would have the healthier version.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let you play games, but they were like, you could play Math Blaster.
Yeah.
That's
So
insane.
this is the sick game that I got to play as
Wow.
a kid. Math.
Did you even have to learn how to type when you were younger? Or did you just know?
I learned. We had like computer class, and we were, like I
Okay.
said, like Mavis Beacon. Then we were doing Nitro Type. No, the
yeah.
game that I have to bring up really quickly is the Bible game.
What's
Do you
the Bible
remember
game?
the Bible game?
No, we were heathens.
Okay,
I played
no,
a
it's-
Bible game.
It's just so insane to like look back. I had it for the Xbox, I think. And-
Xbox?
yeah, and it was a game that literally was all about. It was just like Bible mini games. It
Wait,
was
what
like
is
a
it called?
competition,
What was it
just
called?
the Bible game. And you
They
would
got the
do
rights
like
to that name.
there was like a one where you're like going through like the parting of the Red Sea. You're like trying to survive in the parting of the Red Sea. There's the most insane mini games. Yeah, you're like
It was
it's
like Mario
Aaron-
Party for Jesus.
It literally
Yeah.
was. It was like a 4-player.
I was
and
gonna say it looked like Fusion Frenzy.
my
Yeah.
family and I used to play the Bible game, and like all the names of the characters were like biblical names.
Joshua,
It's
Daniel.
so
So
funny.
just regular people's names.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Oh, there's David and Goliath.
David and Goliath, yeah, Daniel.
This
and-
actually looks like it could be fun.
False idols.
I remember having so much fun playing this game and
Yeah.
like grinding for like high scores and stuff. But then like looking back, I'm like, that's
When you get the highest score, do you
unreal.
get to go to heaven?
Yeah, that's how you. That's
The
how you
Bible
get to go.
game, dude. I kind of want to play this.
The
Yeah.
Bible game.
Okay. Gen Z does have a point.
Yeah, the Bible.
I don't think that's a Gen Z thing. I think that's a Trevor thing.
Yeah.
No,
maybe.
I decided Trevor represents all of Gen Z.
Yeah.
And this is a Gen Z.
You
game.
learned how to type. I learned how to do math, and you
You learned
I
how to-
learned the Bible.
You learn how to
Yeah.
worship God.
I learned the Bible
Dude,
through
way to
video
go.
games.
I mean, this game honestly looks a lot more fun than our shit ass
Yeah.
games. So
It's like
That's
there's
true.
like a host. It was like a game show almost. There was like literally a host that would like announce things and you do these different games. It was awesome.
Let's get into shows
okay.
because I feel like it's clear that Millennials had the better shows.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
disagree.
I was deep into Sesame Street as a small child.
Okay.
And who can argue with Sesame Street?
I actually didn't really watch much Sesame Street.
Really?
Yeah,
I can
Is
tell.
that why you are the way you are?
probably. We all know the Power Rangers.
I went straight from Sesame Street to Power Rangers
That's so funny.
in my obsession.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You're like, ugh, Sesame Street sucks. It's all about Power Rangers
Yeah.
now. Okay, we all know Power Rangers, but do you know Beetleborgs?
Oh shit!
Beetleborgs.
It was the like cheap knockoff version of Power Rangers.
There's no way.
Yes, and these teenagers would turn into beetles?
They'd be like, yeah, like, here, pull it up.
Dude, that's
Look at this.
awesome.
Ew, dude.
look at-
how horrible this makeup was.
That's
I don't-
amazing.
It looks like
Oh my
It looks like
God.
Jay Leno in whiteface.
Oh, this is also Saban.
Wait, it is Jay Leno? No, that's not Jay Leno.
There's no way.
Was he actually the evil No.
totally looks like.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Okay, wait.
So
It was made by the people that made the American version of Power Rangers.
Yeah, because it's Saban. I wonder if because Saban, what they did was they took the Power Rangers footage, all the fight footage, and then recorded American people for all the out of suit stuff.
Okay.
For the first season of Power Rangers.
Okay.
So I wonder if they were like, what if we just didn't have to pay for this footage and just made our own rip-off Power Rangers?
Made
That's
Beetleborgs.
crazy.
Beetleborgs.
That's unreal.
There's also
I remember watching Beetleborgs with you only.
Is that right?
Yes, like this is not something I watched on my own.
Yeah, I mean, it looks terrible. Look at this. Like, they got like little pincers on their head. It looks so stupid.
I feel like
awesome.
whenever I went over to your place growing up, I'd get the healthier, worse version of everything.
Yeah.
This is what happened with Beetleborgs.
I don't know if Beetleborgs is healthier.
Dude, no, you
But there's
guys
another
win.
one, VR Troopers.
Oh, wait.
VR.
What is that?
Troopers?
I vaguely remember that.
How can I compete with this?
You can't.
This is unreal stuff.
Oh my God! It was another ripoff.
And they had they had a theme song that was like, we are.
What the heck? Look, Screen Rant, the 10 best VR Troopers episodes.
Wow.
Look at this guy.
Wow.
This is all just
pretty
knockoff
good.
Power Rangers.
Horrible like character design.
What was your thing growing up?
I mean, I watched a lot of, I was definitely a cartoon kid.
That's also Saban. What the f?
Yeah, that's all they did.
Sorry.
You were in the
No,
cartoons.
no, that's okay. Yeah, I watched a lot of SpongeBob. I mean, I remember
Yeah.
watching some of the earlier Nickelodeon cartoons like Hey Arnold.
I remember the first episode of SpongeBob ever being aired, and I was there, dude. I watched it.
Yeah,
Because
no.
they were advertising a new show.
Yeah.
And also, Hey Arnold was, I believe that was part of a thing they did where they were piloting new shows, and they did that with like Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls,
Yeah.
Cat Dog.
Yeah, see, I remember all of those shows, but I don't remember like really a lot about them. Like I remember every single episode of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Like I remember every single episode of SpongeBob. I remember a ton of like Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, like Phineas and Ferb. Some of the Cartoon Network ones, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. That was my
That was just
shit.
slightly after my.
That was my shit. That's such a good show. They had the Grim Reaper, who was like inexplicably Jamaican, and it was just like the
Hold
most
on,
insane
what?
show.
See, Ian was the youngest. I was the oldest, so my younger brothers were watching this stuff, so I was familiar with it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
No, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy was one of those like Cartoon Network kind of edgier ones.
Yeah.
Kind of like Courage the Cowardly Dog, like a little bit like weirder.
Courage was so creepy and
Courage was creepy.
creepy.
I know. Did you ever watch All Real Monsters?
That was creepy in a different way.
Yeah, it was gross.
That was just gross out. That was like
No.
Ren and Stimpy gross out a little bit.
Do you guys want to know something crazy?
Uh-oh.
The Disney Channel no longer exists. It's
What?
not on TV anymore. Yeah. As of this
Really?
year, they took it off of cable. It's only on streaming services.
I was gonna say, is it because
my
they could
God.
charge for?
Oh,
There's
'cause they
no
have
more
Disney
Disney
Plus.
Channel.
There's no more Disney Channel.
I
Not
guess
even
that kind of makes sense because like they weren't making any money off advertising.
They're also like not filming new Disney Channel shows. Like it's just the Disney streaming service. Yeah.
But they must have like shows they're creating for children.
Right.
on
By
Disney
Disney.
Plus.
But like the Disney Channel isn't a thing.
I think the Disney Channel
Wow.
kind of sucked. I would say.
What?
Wow.
I think it kind of sucked.
I bet they still have
You didn't even
radio.
watch it.
Do you think they still
Just
have
enough to know
radio?
it sucked.
You weren't there for like the Disney Channel games. Like you don't get it.
That's true.
You
Yeah.
don't get it.
You don't get
You
it.
don't get
No,
it.
like early Disney Channel, like or like Aaron and I's generation Disney Channel of like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Wizards of Waverly Place, like That's So Raven.
Well, there was like a war between Disney and Nickelodeon. I feel like during like y'all's generation, Nickelodeon had
Josh, Victoria.
In terms of like the live action stuff.
yeah, like I feel like there was like a massive like battle for like Gen Z kids' eyes.
Because they didn't do
Yeah.
a ton of live action stuff before that. They had like competition shows, like Temple, whatever,
was it
Temple. Legends of the Hidden Temple. They had
That
live
was
action
sick.
competition stuff, but not scripted
Yeah.
sitcom type stuff.
And then they came for Disney's bag.
They came for Gen Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think millennial humor is a lot more like random because all the cartoons and stuff we were watching when we were young, it was about like throwing that curveball of like just being weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Anthony and I, we just rewatched Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
It's
Oh my
god
God.
awful. It is awful.
But there's some jokes in it that are like legitimately funny.
There's like 5 jokes in it that are legitimately.
But then there's like there's this whole fight scene where have you seen it?
I know what it is. I haven't seen it.
Because I was like, this is the exact humor that we grew up on, where it was like random and just like way absurd and super corny. Like he comes across this like cow in a field and they have a martial arts fight.
And it's a CG worst cow you've ever seen.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
Terrible CG. And then because it came out like a couple years after The Matrix, they had this shot where the cow jumps into the air and squirts his milk at him.
Dude.
And then he does a bullet time back bends over the slow motion milk shooting over him.
That's awesome.
And then he goes and milks the cow a bunch until he's like dry. And that's how he defeats him.
That's so crazy.
It's just the worst thing I've seen.
I feel like even watching it when I was younger, I would have thought it was the worst thing.
Yeah, I remember when I saw that when I was like around the time that it came out, like thinking that scene was cringe.
I think it's because that was like coming off the tail end of
Gen X
humor, which was even worse than millennial humor.
Yes.
I think a lot of my humor was actually influenced by YouTube.
That makes sense.
Like watching like a lot of like YouTubers growing up, that's kind of like where I got a lot of my sense of humor.
I think that is
Probably you guys.
I think that is the difference because like millennials all came up on like comedy movies and comedy TV. So it was like everything was like about like the one-liner, like Borat. Like everyone was going around like saying my wife. Like even to today, whenever I hear somebody say my wife, like I can't not immediately think of that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we all operate in like movie and TV sound bites where Gen Z came up in like Vine sound bites.
Yeah.
Who do you think is funnier?
I think Gen Z is funnier.
Let's go.
Yeah. I think millennials rely too much on shock humor and randomness. I think it's the shock humor that millennials rely too much on.
I was gonna say, I know this is Gen Z versus Millennial, but I think Gen Alpha is the funniest.
I actually do too.
I don't know, like, I'm definitely, I would say, like, later-ish Gen Z.
Okay.
Not like super young Gen Z. So I like get everything, but my brain doesn't quite operate on the same wavelength.
Yeah, but how f***ed up are their brains?
Oh, so fucked up,
That's
which
why
I think
they're
is
funny.
why it's so It's like, it's the nonsensical type of comedy where you just say words that don't mean anything, but everybody knows the words and it makes them funny for whatever reason. Like skibbity riz, like that doesn't mean anything. Like
Yeah.
it's complete nonsense, but it's so funny.
I feel like with Gen Alpha, everything is like, I guess it's said ironically at first, and then it's becomes like a mainstay part of the.
Yeah, it's every joke has to go through like 3 levels of irony before it becomes funny.
Sometimes looking for healthcare can feel like a game of Mad Libs. I need to find X doctor that specializes in X, and it needs to be within X miles of me. And, that's just not fun. But fortunately, there's ZocDoc to help you. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, eye care to skin care, and much, much more. Plus, appointments happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. I needed an annual checkup, so I went on the app, found a doctor. I think I had my appointment in like 2 days. It was sick. It was so easy. And you could do it too. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/lunchtime to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/lunchtime. ZocDoc.com/lunchtime. Now back to our show.
No,
Who do you think had the most f***ed up shows?
Who had the most f***ed up shows? It's hard to say.
Well, define
'cause
f***ed up.
You define it. I wasn't there.
Okay, I don't know the answer to who had the most f***ed up shows, but I think we had the most f***ed up commercials.
Oh yeah.
Like I think our commercials were like really f***ing weird. The Capri Sun commercial where everyone turns into sludge.
Or the Gushers commercial where everyone's head would grow big and explode.
Everyone's
my
head
God.
would turn into the fruit that they ate.
And then explode.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Like they were out of control.
Did you guys have those like nicotine person melting commercials, or was that weed? When their bodies would deflate?
Oh, the weed,
Yeah.
Yeah, we had, it was a lot of like anti-weed. We're like, this is your brain on drugs.
Yeah,
Any
it worked
questions?
for me. I've never smoked weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never do drugs.
I will never do
I went
drugs.
right out to the nearest corner and bought some crack.
Did you guys have to do Dare? Was that like, did that exist yet?
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
See, I never did Dare. We didn't have Dare at my school, but every year we did like Red Ribbon Week.
Remember in high school when they would do demonstrations to show...
Every 15 minutes?
Yes. Did you
Dude.
guys do every 15 minutes?
Dude, every 15 minutes was
You did?
gnarly.
Did you do that?
No.
For the drunk driving?
Yeah, it was
Yep.
a drunk driving thing. Every
my
15 minutes
God.
someone dies
This
in a
is
drunk driving.
messed up. Like, this is messed up that they do this.
But they would come to this, they came to our school and put on this big thing with this mangled car.
Yeah.
Out in the field, and then they had the paramedics come and like do the jaws of life and everything.
Oh
to,
my God.
As like a
then-
representation of what would happen.
And then all the students that were involved in the demonstration don't show up to class.
No,
Like,
every 15 minutes there's a bell that rings, and then a kid gets up from each class and is
Oh.
representing a dead person.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So they're gone for the rest of the day.
Yes.
No, I mean, I went to like a private like Christian school growing up. So like we would have like chapel every week, and our thing was just like we would have people come and speak in our chapel, and they would just tell the most up stories, like disgusting, insane, like up stories
Was it
to
all
like
sexual
scare
related?
us.
Like, what was it related to?
A lot of it was like drugs. A lot of it was like drugs and
sure,
drinking. Of like, here's how like my life was ruined. Here's how I was like a meth addict for 20 years, and here how my life was ruined. Like, don't do drugs.
Was it religious?
Yeah, it was all like pretty vaguely kind of like, and here's how like God turned around my life, you
Yeah.
know, type of stuff.
Is that why you
could see
played the
that.
Bible games? Were you religious growing up?
Yeah, I mean, God, I went to church like every Sunday. Like I
yeah?
was definitely like, I mean, I lived in Idaho. I went to Christian school, went to church. Like that was very much like I was, you know, I was indoctrinated.
I do remember like former addicts like coming through and like giving speeches at the school. I wonder if it's like a decent gig. Like, because they have to get paid, right?
Yeah.
To come
Sure.
speak. So like there must be like former addicts that like they come out of rehab and they're like, well, I'm like pretty good at speaking.
Well, also, I
guess
think a
I'll-"
lot of people just genuinely, they're like, I went through this tough thing so other people don't have to.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it gives them a reason for having went through the tough time.
Is there anything about the other generation, though, that you're like, this is so stupid? Like, let it die.
I don't ever want to poo-poo on like younger generations comedy because then I know at that point I'm old. Like if I start complaining about like, you know, Gen Alpha's humor, then it's like, oh, then I've just like lost it. You know, so I try my best to like understand it. And what's the comedy that's come through in Alpha so far? Like obviously Skibbity Toilet was
Well,
like,
and all the-
first Alpha.
The whole, Sigma, Riz, like all that
yeah.
shit.
It's
Yeah.
like a lot of bringing stuff back too, like, you know, but in like a more ironic way. There's just something about the strings of words that they put together, like John Pork.
I don't even get that
Pork,
one. I
yeah.
don't get that one.
John Pork's sick.
Yeah, John Pork.
It's like
on my wrist.
it's like a Hinge photo,
Yeah.
but it's like a pig, but also a man.
Oh, okay. I've
And he's
seen
like
that.
Pig
kind of
man.
smiling.
I've seen that,
This
yeah.
is John Pork.
Yeah. John Pork.
I think it's funny. It's so stupid. I think it's funny.
Would you guys rather have Skibbity Riz or Max Aura?
Oh, definitely. Oh, actually.
Max Aura.
Yeah, I think I'd go.
I think
with
there's
think-
longer
yeah.
lasting effect with that one.
My initial reaction was Skibbity Riz, but then I thought about it more, and I think Max Aura is probably.
Yeah. Well, I think if you have Max Aura, then it's likely that you also have Skibbity
Yeah,
Riz.
it's like unspoken that you also
Yeah.
have that. But if you have Skibbity Riz, it's not implied that you have Max Aura.
Would you
Correct.
rather have Max Aura or a Gat?
Or a WGAT. Oh.
I think if you have a WGAT, you kind of can have all of the above. You
Yeah.
can have anything in life if you have a WGAT.
So true, guys. See, like me saying this stuff feels wrong, and I'm like young, but even like me saying it, I'm like, this is so like I probably am.
I just
sound really
pictured
old.
pictured that meme of like the three kids sitting on the couch like talking about Minecraft.
Oh,
but just,
yeah,
like,
is
us-
Fortnite overrated?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. But just us being like, Skibbity Gat or
rather have
W Riz?
I love doing that to I love doing that to like older people, just asking them like things and trying to use as many words that they don't know. I did it to Rhett and Link. I went up to Rhett and Link and I was like Big Chungus or Hawk Tua. Like I was like best meme of all time, Big Chungus or Hawk Tua, and they both just like sat there for a second and then go Big Chungus.
I will say the one thing that millennials definitely have over any other generation is millennials experience life before the internet, during the beginning days of the internet, and after becoming a mainstream part of culture.
Yeah.
Because those earliest days of the internet were
You'll never get it back.
you'll never
Can't
have that.
replicate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like before there were like literally there were no laws or anything. It was just whatever goes goes. But it also felt like the internet was a fake place.
Yeah.
But now the internet is so woven into every aspect of our lives
Yeah.
that it feels like it's just as much real as real life. But the internet used to just feel like a fake playground where nothing mattered.
Yeah.
Because like I guess like technically the internet has like existed through most of our life, but like the usable, accessible internet like happened when we were like 8 or 10 or something. Like
Yeah, in terms of like being able to go to any website.
yeah.
And when it became like a social thing and it wasn't
Right.
just like a tool.
Yeah, and it didn't become social until we were in high school.
Right, yeah, because like MySpace came out probably when we were like sophomores in high school, so it was like you were using it more as like social media.
And it really felt like it was a tool that
Yeah.
served you.
Yeah.
Instead of you feeling like you needed to serve the tool in order to like to gain acceptance from your peers and things like that.
Yeah. So it was like, yeah, it was weird to experience life pre and post social media.
Like you didn't even get on MySpace or have social media for a long time. Like
I was resistant.
for like a year after.
Yeah, I was slow to get MySpace. I was slow to get Facebook.
Yeah.
But it's funny because your generation couldn't even resist if you wanted to.
I think that, yeah. I mean, my parents, I think, made me a Facebook account.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
when I had to have been like 4th or 5th grade.
Like, we
when
got
I
your
had my
username for you,
Facebook
buddy.
account.
We got your username.
And then like I think I first got on Twitter when I was like 13 years old.
That's so
Yeah, it was it's unfortunate. But I will say I think that's one thing that like I'm happy with is that by the time I was really like on social media, I think I understood it enough to know how to navigate it in a way that was like semi-healthy.
Yeah.
I think like I almost like understood the risks and the dangers versus like just getting on it and being on it from like when my brain was still really developing, I guess. Like in the early days of social media on Twitter and Instagram, I think it wasn't as toxic as it is now, obviously. No. And I was very much experiencing it in a like, oh, this is just a fun, silly internet thing. Like in the same way that I was playing RuneScape, and talking to people, it was just like, oh, I'll just log on and, say whatever my 12-year-old Christian brain can think of, like make jokes or like
God
my
is
friends.
good.
Yeah, like my friend's post. I remember thinking the funniest thing ever was when like someone at my school, it was like 3 or 4 grades above me, and they tweeted like, it was like on New Year's or something. They're like, I went to the bathroom like at 11:58 on New Year's and was pooping until whatever on January 1st. And I said, I've been pooping since last year. And I was like, that was the funniest thing to me as a kid. I was like, dude, that's comedy. Like that's what I was doing on Facebook when I was 11.
My early internet days were very unsafe. Like I was chatting with people that were just like, yeah, 13 female, Michigan.
Florida, yeah.
Yeah, right, Looney Girl 87. You're not, you are not a child. But I chatted
And
them.
how old were you?
I was also a child.
Okay, if the context was needed.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
87 was my year of birth. Your year of birth. Good.
You never used AOL Instant Messenger, right?
No.
Yeah, AIM was so sick, dude.
But it was so, I'll tell you how
Unregulated.
dangerous early AOL was.
Oh, the chat rooms, yeah.
The chat rooms, but on your profile, you could put what city you live in, what school you go to.
Yeah.
So I was 11 years old, and I'm like, I'm gonna look for more 11-year-olds that go to my school.
Oh my God.
So I typed in my school and age, I typed my age, 11, and I found like 5 different people that went to my school that were on there. And I ended up dating one of these girls and meeting her at my school.
That's so
awesome.
But how messed up is that anyone could have had that info?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was bad. The chat rooms were super, super dangerous. AIM was sick, dude.
No, AIM was actually really cool.
That's when somebody logs in, it makes a like a door opening, and when they sign off, it goes.
But this is before text messaging, so
Yeah.
it was essentially, it felt like you had to be at your computer to text message your friends,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah,
Awesome.
And you could have like multiple windows going. With
So you'd have all your different DMs going.
What was your guys' first phone?
Oh,
yours was a Kyocera.
yeah. How did you know that?
I don't know, because yours was cooler than mine.
Well, my dad got it for me when I was 12. He was like, "You're gonna need a phone in case, because I was walking home from school and stuff." So it was like a safety thing. And
You
but
had, like
literally,
you had like a slider phone, wasn't it a slider?
that was the second one. The first one I had was a blue screen, though, blue and black.
Sick.
What was your? Don't tell me your first phone was an iPhone. Do not tell me your first phone was an iPhone.
My first phone was an iPhone 5C.
No, your first phone was an iPhone.
What year was that?
That was I didn't actually get a phone
It's
until
like
I was a little
2011?
older. I think I was like a freshman or a sophomore in high school. I think a sophomore because I got it because I made varsity in my sophomore year on the basketball team, and so I got my first phone.
Huge.
I think I got my first
In like
phone.
2014.
It was probably 2013 or 2014 iPhone 5C.
Damn, 5C. That's a good
crazy.
phone.
Yeah, no, it was one of the best iPhones I think.
Yeah.
It was so smooth. It had the smooth edges.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
It was small too, which is nice. My first phone, I mean, it was a Metro piece of shit. Metro PCS. We used to call it a Metro piece of shit. Of
course.
Because Metro it was the cheap option.
Okay.
What was that phone? I think it was a Nokia. It wasn't the famous like Nokia brick, but it was something like that. Yeah, where the numbers were all in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had T9, that's how you would type, would be T9. So like it would, well, you could either guess or
Wait, do you know what T9 is?
What is maybe? I don't know.
Okay,
If I've heard
okay.
crazy. Okay, so T9, since you didn't have a keypad, you just had the numbers, and there's 3 letters correlated with each number.
Yeah.
And with all the buttons, that would be the whole alphabet. So T9, that was where it would guess, right?
Yeah, because at first that didn't exist, and you just had to press it 1 to 3 times on each thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you wanted B, you'd have to press 1 twice.
Okay, I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's this thing called T9 he's talking about.
And that would guess, right? And
Yeah,
then
you'd
have
press
to,
each number once, and it would guess what word you
What
meant.
wor-
And then there was a tab button, basically, where then you would scroll through all the options of what it could be.
Dude,
That's
texting
so
was,
funny.
It was so unoptimized.
Were there dicks online before chat roulette? Like, was that a shared traumatic experience, or is that like just a Gen Z thing?
Were there dicks online?
Like before chat roulette, like was it likely you could encounter that?
Absolutely.
When was
but
the
I'd say,
first time
but
you
I'd say
saw a
it's-
penis online?
Okay, look. I would say it was more likely that you would encounter the most horrific gore image than somebody's penis.
Yeah. I think one of the first times I saw an unsolicited penis picture, gore was involved.
Do you think
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
society then like we've progressed? Because like I've only
think so.
seen regular nudity. Like I haven't seen gory nudity.
Yeah, absolutely. Because shock image. Okay. This is something that I don't know how much you were exposed to this. I don't know how much Gen Z was exposed to this, but millennials love sharing shock images. Goatsy, Tub Girl,
What?
Mr. Hands.
I don't know what any
Yeah.
of this is.
What,
Good.
2 Girls, 1 Cup.
See, I was
Blue Waffle. That was kind of a later one.
Yeah.
Something
no, I
about,
remember all of those.
Don't look up any of these, by the way. They're
Yeah,
all
don't.
horrible. But that's the shit that we were exposed to. Was just like the most horrific thing possible. And then, thanks to AIM with doing hyperlinks, you can make a link look like it was to like MySpace. And so you would make the hyperlink say like www.myspace.com, but the hyperlink would be Tub Girl,
and-
and you would be like, hey, check this out.
And back then, because nothing was regulated, I was a website programmer, so I learned all these tricks where you could even make it do things like they could click the link and it would automatically make it their homepage whenever they open the internet. And weird shit like that, like you could f with people so hard in the early days.
It's really funny because like I feel like, what you probably came onto was like a Rickroll. Like,
did you
No,
get
it's
Rickrolled?
funny. I did get rickrolled, like that was the thing. But I also know all those references that you made, and it's probably because I was watching YouTube. It was probably
yeah.
YouTubers talking about it. It was probably
Yeah.
like early days being like, oh, making all these references, and then me just being like, 11 years old, like, okay, I'll go look up what that is.
Yeah.
And
I
then
do think
seeing
that
it.
the internet's I'm not afraid to like exist on the internet now like I was before.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm afraid to exist on the internet for different reasons now, but I'm not afraid of clicking on a super f***ed up image.
Those do get taken down, whereas
Not on Twitter, really.
yeah, I feel like I don't see as much like
feel like-
horrific things on.
I think you can cater. It is nice because you can sort of cater like your algorithm, like
Yeah.
if you know how to. Yeah, every once in a while something could just pop up on your feed.
I feel like Twitter is one of the last unregulated places where you could just post the most f***ed up shit.
For sure. But I feel like there's still like some controls over it where like I remember when like a couple people back when we had our forum, like a couple people were like, oh, and they would like
Yeah,
they just-
Smosh.com started off as a forum.
they just spammed like all of the topics with these like giant like JPEG of like multiple gore images.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, and it would
Yeah.
take up the entire screen, and it would load slowly because it was such a big image.
Yeah. So it was like,
God.
yeah, I feel like there's at least more controls over like the spreading of that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you're not just gonna happen across it, I guess, unless you're on Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter. So yeah, as far as like regular nudity, no, just horrific stuff.
So you saw it for the first time, like in real life.
Penis?
Penis?
Yeah.
No, we probably saw that online first.
The first time I saw a
my
penis,
own.
I saw my own.
yeah.
So I was pretty young when I
That's
saw a
awesome.
penis.
Yeah. First time you guys saw boobs?
Oh, I know boobs.com.
Boobs.com? Is that real?
Yeah.
Dude, can we go?
not on our work internet. There's probably a firewall.
Do it on your cell phone.
No, but for real,
That's like some shit I would Google as a kid.
no, when
We had to work hard to watch porn though. because our internet was bad. And so like we had to use file sharing networks.
Well, I'll go back even a little bit further
Okay.
than that first. So when I was 12, my dad had got me a computer. I was like, my computer's starting to run slow. So my dad comes in there and he's like, well, let's clean out your cookies. And he loads up the cookies list and he's like, what's boobs.com? And I'm like, I don't know how that got there.
Young Anthony.
do you think later on he went home and was like, let me check out boobs.com?
I guarantee he had to know for himself.
Boobs.com.
But yeah, no, Ian's right. There was like file sharing was like the only way you would even see a video.
There wasn't like really like streaming video wasn't a thing. Internet wasn't good enough for that, so you would have to download video.
Yeah.
So like file sharing networks like Kazaa and LimeWire were really the only ways to like really, because like the way the file sharing worked was like everyone had like a piece of the file, like as far as like
It would download a small piece from many people.
and that's how you get the full file.
Yeah.
It was like kind of like this like like very like nice way of like everyone sharing files to help each other out, but for porn.
Yeah.
It was for everything. It
Yeah,
was
but mainly for porn and music.
It was for everything.
And now I just have a 4 terabyte hard drive filled with hentai.
Yeah, exactly.
Filled with hentai.
Exactly. But this was
What a world
this
we
would be
live in.
like you would see all you would see is like the file name. Or like maybe a title and it'd be like girl and guy have sex.
Okay.
And you spend the whole day downloading it. And it might not be that as the video. And it could also be a shock thing.
Or it's horrific. Yeah.
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 And you don't know until the file is totally downloaded and you're like, let me see if it's a girl guy having sex. And it's like, no, it's Mr. Hands.
Don't look that up.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have a few files downloading overnight.
Jesus.
Yeah, you have to have backups, but it was like, but now
so
it's
funny.
like, but now it's you're scrolling, you're just like, nah, this is all lame. Like, but we didn't have choice.
No.
We had
You would take your crumbs and you'd be happy.
yeah, exactly.
Did you guys ever use like WikiHow?
No. Not legitimately. Like WikiHow. Did you use it legitimately?
I've used WikiHow before.
What did you learn? What was your favorite thing you learned on there?
Oh God. I mean, it was usually like, I don't know, things like how to tie a tie. You know, kind of simple
I
things
might have
like
used it for how to tie a
that.
tie.
Or like how to kiss?
Yeah,
How to kiss.
How to kiss.
That's on there.
I
Yeah.
never learned. I don't still know
I've looked.
How to download porn on LimeWire.
Very important. 4 terabytes, huh?
Yeah, 4 terabytes. Well, that's just one of them. One of
Okay,
my hard
one of them.
drives.
Is it all in 4K or?
Yeah, obviously. It's in 4K or it's in VR. That's so funny.
I
Oh
don't.
my God. Imagine downloading a video all day just for the chance for it to be porn.
That was our life.
Just for
Yeah.
the chance.
I had 37K
Maybe
internet.
this one.
I didn't even have 56K internet. I had 36K internet.
Couldn't you like get DVDs though, or like magazines?
Yeah, but you're
wasn't
not.
that
You
your
weren't that
era?
as a teenager.
We were children.
Oh,
We were teenagers.
got it.
Still living at home. You don't want that disc anywhere.
Now the 15-year-olds
Yeah.
are just 700 pages deep on the Pornhub
Yeah.
homepage.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is boring.
Although I used to, there was a moment where I was like, I'm just gonna read erotica.
Okay.
Because it was instant. You didn't have to like.
Sure,
you didn't have
yeah.
to risk it. Because
Yeah.
even looking at a picture,
It took
was-
a long time. Yeah. It would load from the top down.
I'd be like, okay, I'm into their face. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, wait, here comes the top of the chest.
Yeah.
That was
Bink,
actually something
bink.
funny, like growing up, like I would see things in media and movies and stuff where it's like, oh my God, like they found the porn stash. And that was always the thing for me, like what the
You're like,
porn
what?
stash? Like,
You're like, I have 1,000 pages loaded up on my
like
phone
under,
already.
under the
So we're using the Firefox browser. And I feel like the reason why Firefox like kicked off,
Private browsing.
well, yes, private browsing. They were the first ones to do private browsing, but also they loaded the image. There was something about the way that they would load images that, like, I feel like with Internet
From the
Explorer,
crotch up.
I feel like Internet Explorer, like, wouldn't it just sit there forever? Or I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
This is so funny.
I
This is
remember
like
it.
Gen
Private-
Z versus millennials. We started talking about video games, and now we're like, how do you get your porn?
It always.
Which generation had better porn?
Look, it always comes
Sorry.
back. It always comes back to porn. It really
so
does.
dumb.
I mean, I can't. I feel bad for the younger generations. Y'all are just like so. I feel like people are so porn brained.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like-
it is like a bad thing because it's just everywhere. I mean, talk
Yeah.
about Twitter. That's a place where like you can't scroll for like,
Yeah.
more than 3 minutes without seeing a rack.
That's so true. Like they didn't experience like being in high school and math class and like opening Twitter and porn just like playing out loud to everyone. Like
No, I never
Gen
experienced
Zers
that.
and like Gen Alpha, like you have to.
Did that
Was
happen
that
to you?
common?
It's I mean, it's actually funny. There were those memes that were like you would click on a video and it would be a completely like unrelated video, and then it would just have porn sounds
Yeah.
playing over the top. And you'd send those videos as a joke to your friends to see if you could like get them to play the video out loud, and then it would just be like these
Yep.
moaning sounds.
So they would do the same shit as us.
Yeah, that's great.
They're just like a new version of it.
It's a little bit more tame. I like that. You're not scarred for life.
Yeah. Honorable mentions.
Let's get some
Oh,
honorable mentions from our generation.
I feel like Trevor's you're not going to expect from him.
Okay.
yeah. No, one of the things that growing up, it's funny because I remember this very fondly, but my mom would she like did all the laundry, and on like weekends or days that I didn't have school,
Oh, she
would
found
do-
your underwear?
Yeah. she would do laundry and she would watch soap operas. So like all those classic like One Life to Live, All My Children, General Hospital. She
Sure.
would just like
Did she really
watch
see into
soap
Days of Our
operas.
Lives?
Maybe it's possible,
But I feel like we had those same soap operas.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
I
one
would-
thing that transcends all generations.
yeah, but I would go in and I would watch them, like with her. Like she'd just be doing laundry, and I just thought it was so fun, and I had no clue what was going on, and I didn't know any of the characters, but it was just like this like thing that I would just like go and like watch soap operas with my mom.
I used to
while
watch
she
soap
folded
operas with my mom
laundry.
too.
Really?
It would just be on the TV, so it's like, what are you gonna look at?
Yeah.
Huh.
No, it's awesome.
My like daytime sick shows.
Oh, like when you're sick from
When you're sick.
Price is
Like,
Right.
Price is Right. Dude, Cops.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! You know
That's
what? The Price is Right reminds me. Another thing I used to watch with my mom all the time was the Game Show Network.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Game
Well,
Show Network?
I only had network television.
See,
I didn't
you
have
only had the
cable.
worst version of everything.
Yeah, so I had
okay.
I had Judge Judy, The Price is Right, and Cops.
See,
Yeah.
I had
So-
DirecTV, so I was just game shows all day. They just
cool.
had the Game Show Network. I watched like Lingo. You had Press Your Luck, or actually they then made Whammy, which was like an evolved version of Press Your Luck. The
So
like,
many good game shows.
yeah, Price is Right. Let's Make a Deal. That was just Family Feud. Oh my
Oh,
God, I
yeah.
watched so much
Family
Family
Feud.
Feud.
So good.
That's sick.
I have one of my favorite memories from 6th grade.
Okay.
This is the honorable mention. I found a Tamagotchi in the bathroom.
Whoa.
That's a
So
huge
sick. Did I send it to Lost and Found? No, I kept
no.
it and I took care of that creature.
Dude, that's a come
cleaned
up.
up its
That's
shit.
a child. You stole a child.
Stole
Yeah, I
someone's
was a child too. F that other child.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, they abandoned the baby.
Yeah, they abandoned their child.
They
Yeah,
abandoned their
He's the
child.
father that stepped up.
I
Yeah,
took care of that child when it
exactly.
needed it.
Exactly.
I'm the better child parent.
How long did it live for?
Months. I took care of that
Months?
thing.
Wow.
Yeah. It evolved, or I don't know if it was called evolution, but
Yeah, it grew up.
it grew up.
It growed up.
Yeah, that was fun, man. But just the idea of a Tamagotchi, I mean, now it's novel, but back then it was like, I have a video game at school.
Yeah.
That
was sick.
Dude,
That is sick.
I would just play games on my laptop in school. When I was
I
like
can't even
growing up-
imagine bringing my laptop to
When
school.
I was in high school, my
yeah.
first laptop was a MacBook, and I remember I would just be in class and I would play games.
Dude, we didn't even bring laptops to school.
I had
Yeah, we didn't have
Pokemon emulators on my laptop, and I would
Sick.
play Pokemon in class, but on my laptop.
Sick.
And I also had like my DS and stuff, but it was so much easier to be like, okay, like we're gonna do work, we're gonna like start writing like this essay.
Yeah.
And then I just have Pokemon up, and then I just like Alt Tab, like if if someone came by.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I read you the list of Ian's honorable mentions that he sent me? Because the list in its entirety is very funny.
How many items are there on that list?
Well, because you said anything else from the 90s you want to plug.
So Ian wants to plug Bill Clinton, Operation Desert Storm, the A-10 Warthog, the economy, Nelson Mandela's, plural, and the end of apartheid in South Africa, also Barney.
That's awesome.
Okay.
What a
wants to plug
list.
those.
I didn't say Nelson Mandela's.
You did. Oh, sorry. That was a typo
Yeah.
on our end.
I said Nelson Mandela and the.
I didn't know if you got confused with like Mandela effects and like you could combine
Oh, wait. All that makes sense, except Barney?
He was a positive force for good.
What?
Bro, you were old for Barney.
There was like a thing, like you liked Barney for like 2 years of your life, and then you had to immediately hate him.
Yeah.
Dude,
And, like wish that he died.
You'd sing the Barney song.
Yeah.
The, like
Yeah.
bad version of the Barney song.
Yeah.
I went back to Newgrounds. Newgrounds was this site where you could submit Flash animations or games, and that was where Ian and I consumed a lot of everything when we were younger. And because it was the only place where it was like user-generated content, actually. And I went back just to see if there were any old games that I remember to talk about in this episode. And I filtered 2004 or earlier and clicked popular. And one of the most popular games was Kill Barney.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
people like loved to hate Barney. There was just like he was just so pure,
Yeah.
you know, that he was too pure for this world.
Yeah.
So he needed
Just-
to die.
Exactly. It just
Yeah.
caused a visceral reaction. Once you reach a certain age where you're too cool for Barney,
Yeah.
Barney had to die.
It's like Jesus.
Didn't he get canceled?
Wait, what?
Didn't Barney get
Barney?
Barney got
Barney
canceled?
got canceled.
I mean,
Like
he-
the dinosaur or the person in the suit?
I think he
Both.
recently got canceled because they're trying to bring him back, but as CG. And it's like, guys, this ain't my Barney. Not my Barney.
That's not my Barney.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out Bill Clinton.
Why did you put Bill Clinton?
Did I have any other good honorable
He
mentions?
played sax.
Do you remember smart boards?
They didn't have them. There's no way they had.
What the
Yeah,
hell
there's
is
no
a
way.
smart
Way
board?
too
Oh
cool.
yeah, no, that
We
makes
had,
sense.
we had overhead projectors.
Yeah.
You guys
Well,
already-
we had
Whoa,
overhead
ancient.
projectors, but then like when I was in like it happened when I was in elementary school. We started getting smart boards, and so it was like it was basically like you would project like a computer screen, you'd connect it, and then you had these little markers like that you could draw on the screen, and so like teachers would like put something on their computer screen, and then it would be up at the front of the class,
Yeah.
and you could like underline and like scroll with
Would
it, and we do
apply
like
to
It was
the
huge.
computer? Would you do it on the computer or on the board?
No, it was on the board. Yeah, they'd just be up at the front, and it was basically like a whiteboard, but
Yeah.
you could like erase. You could have your screen up, and so you'd do like math
So you're
problems.
interacting with the
and-
digital content.
Yeah,
It's like a giant iPad.
yeah, like a giant iPad, but like in
Wild.
place of a whiteboard. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, we had overhead projectors. which were, like, so f***ing
So you
lame.
can see the teacher's hand shadows,
Yeah.
like drawing and erasing.
Dude, it seemed like it's from the. I mean, it was like technology from the 70s.
Yeah.
It would be like a translucent like sheet that they would
and
like
you'd hear them turn.
project.
You'd hear them turn on the projector and be like
Yeah,
fan
dude.
going. And there was a light bulb in there that would project the light, but it was super hot, incandescent.
That's so crazy that like you don't know what a smart board
That
is.
is
No.
insane.
That's unbelievable to me.
It is. Wait, speaking of
And we also
robots-
didn't have. Yeah, we didn't have iPads. We didn't
That's
have
crazy.
laptops.
That's what I was
We
saying.
got it.
No one brought in a laptop to school.
Yeah,
That's not a thing.
it's crazy. Chromebooks, nope.
That's crazy.
The last shout out I'll give is to Game Gear, the Sega Genesis handheld that they came out with right after Game Boy.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, this handheld has color. It can play things in 16-bit. And it was so sick, but it took like
Yep.
4 C batteries and it would die after an hour.
I think the Neo Geo was
The Neo Geo was bad too.
was worse.
Was it? But it was funny because my cousin got this Game Gear and it was so sick and he was showing me and it would always die in the middle of him playing and it wouldn't even, it would like the red light would come on for like a minute and then it would die.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was the same thing where it was like they'd take these massive batteries and it would have like a 4-hour life or like maybe less, and you just have to throw the batteries out.
Yeah.
That's
Wait, your video games were in black and white?
Yeah.
Before, Game Boy.
Game
You
Boy.
lived through video games becoming in color?
Handheld
Game Boy.
Handheld video games.
Got it.
Were in
The
black and
the first games that I played was on TV. It was the NES. I was color.
Wow, that's huge for you guys. That's like you like lived through like when movies became color.
Yeah. Yep.
That's huge.
I remember being a kid and finding like an old Game Boy that my grandma had and being like, oh my God, this is awesome. It's ancient. And then playing Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy and being like, this is
Was it
terrible.
black and green?
Yeah.
Okay,
I couldn't see anything. She even had a little light that clipped
Oh,
too.
yeah!
She had the little thing that like went over the Game Boy and then was a little light.
Because it wouldn't produce its own light.
Yeah. And so you like to play it like in the dark.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Game Gear had a 3 to 5 hour battery life, and it would take 6 AA batteries.
Oh, okay.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But I remember it being C batteries.
I remember my cousin, I grew up pretty low income and my cousin as well. I was like, how are you going to keep buying these? He's like, oh, I actually can't play because I can't afford more batteries.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you couldn't just plug it into the wall, I don't think.
And you
either.
didn't, and there weren't, and like rechargeable AA's weren't. I don't
No,
even
they
know if
didn't even
were
exist
a
yet.
thing yet. So you would literally just have to buy a bunch of batteries and then throw them out after 3 hours of gaming.
So you get to a place where you can't afford to play your games.
Yeah.
So funny.
You can't afford the power.
That's such an insane thought. That's not something that I ever would have thought like existed. Like in my head, there's just things have always been like rechargeable or you plug them into a wall.
Oh.
It might have had a wall plug that you could use, but you would
might
you'd have to be like next to an outlet.
It might have,
Which
but
kind of like eliminates the whole
the point of a mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Q&A time.
Hey, it's Q&A time.
Finding YouTube questions, finding YouTube questions.
So you guys submitted
That's
questions.
really good.
And,
That's really good.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, bruh.
bruh.
You guys submitted some questions.
You guys submitted some questions. We're gonna answer them.
So this first question actually comes from me,
Oh.
and it's for Trevor.
Okay.
Oh.
Who is the funnier duo? Ian and Anthony or Rhett and Link?
Oh, who's the funnier duo? The thing is they're both funny, but I experience them in different ways. I think that Ian and Anthony are both very funny. Like, I think you guys are very funny
I'm sensing
people.
a butt.
And I think, no, well, what I'm saying is Rhett and Link are funny in a way where they're old, and I find the way that they act funny. Like from an outside perspective.
I find them to be fascinating.
They're fascinating. Yeah,
and
that's
seeing
a
them
good word
interact
for
with
it.
one another is
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah, and I think it's funny the things that I can do to them. Where like you guys would understand a lot of like my dumb jokes. I can't mess with you guys as much as I can mess with them. But I think that you guys are really. I think that you're just very funny. And not that Rhett and Link aren't funny people, but I experience them in a different way.
Do they try to keep up with your jokes, but like won't admit that they don't get it?
No, they don't. I think that they just both look at me like I'm stupid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're just like, what? And
Yeah.
that's it's part of our relationship. our
I think
quirky
they're
little thing.
I think they're very funny because it's such a different world. It feels like you're a fly on the wall peeking in at two friends that have known. I mean, I guess that's what they are.
Yeah.
But it always feels like I'm on the outside looking in on them.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like I'm part of it because it's their humor so different than mine.
Yeah. No, 100%.
They're very
No.
unique.
Does that answer the question?
That was a good answer.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
a nice
Yeah,
PR answer.
they're
that
very
you gave
funny.
us.
They're
Okay,
very
good PR answer.
Good safe answer, but I
Yeah.
do think that's the real answer. I agree.
This one comes from Kate Sullivan 6707. Who is your favorite Nepo baby?
Favorite Nepo baby?
You know what? Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid.
True.
Jack Quaid, because Dennis Quaid is such like a piece of shit.
And Jack Quaid clearly hates his dad.
Hates his dad, and he's just a really talented person. It's like, I respect that a lot.
Mine's Chet Hank.
They're
Chet
so
Hanks.
polar opposites. That's crazy.
Chet Hanks is awesome.
No, actually, I don't know.
He's
know.
another great Nepo baby.
That was the only Nepo baby I could think of.
That's the only one.
Elon Musk?
He's a Nepo baby?
I don't know.
I mean, you could say.
You could say that.
I mean, his dad had an emerald mine in South Africa.
I just don't know many celebrities.
Who's doing stuff now? Jack Nicholson's son.
Oh yeah, he's got the smile and he's in Smile.
He's in Smile. Yeah. I don't know if he's ever.
Oh, holy shit! That's Jack Nichols. That's Jack Nichols'
right?
son.
That was my exact reaction when I realized.
Yeah, no, it's
totally-
insane. I saw a side-by-side picture of them, and I was like, "That's unbelievable."
I had no idea, but that totally makes sense. I saw his face on a billboard. I'm trying to think of a good Nepo baby. Oh man, there's so many.
At Alua P99 asks favorite office spot and why.
I feel like mine's got to be the games couch.
Actually, the games couch.
The new
Games couch
couch
is
is
nice.
so
Yeah.
awesome.
It's too comfy.
I
so
love
good.
sitting on it.
I feel like I could disappear there too.
Yeah, I'm like when we have lunch, like on shoot weeks and stuff. Like I get done with lunch and I just want to come sit in here.
Oh my God,
wanna
that's
come
so
sit
true.
on the
You
couch.
are always missing during lunch.
Yeah, I like to
cozy, quiet
finish
spot.
my lunch and then just kind of come sit in
And
here
right,
and chill on the
it's
couch.
almost got this permanent Lazy Susan thing on top, so you could spin, and it's just fun. And there's always props from the previous games that were played there. It's a good time.
And then Spencer and Alex are there sometimes, and love those guys.
Yeah. Hold on,
Ian,
Ian's
favorite
still looking
office
up
Okay, all right,
Nepo
I got
babies.
one.
Great.
I got one.
Nepo baby or spot?
Nepo baby.
Okay.
Dakota Johnson.
Oh, that's a good one.
Madam Webb.
Madam Webb.
She was the daughter of Melanie Griffith and
Yeah.
Don Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know any.
Limes.
Dakota Johnson's
No.
good. That's a good one.
Would you sit on the games couch with her?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
She's goated because just because that Ellen clip. She's like, you didn't invite me to your party, and she's like, Ellen, that's not true.
It's iconic.
Yeah.
It was the beginning of Ellen's downfall.
True. So shout out to Dakota.
Yeah, she's the one that started it all.
And do you have a favorite office spot?
The parking lot, because that means I'm leaving it.
Nice.
No.
It means you're arriving.
One.
Yeah,
Good
work
one.
sucks.
It means you're arriving, bro.
No, I would say the kitchen.
You are always in the kitchen.
Ian's always either getting some grub or hanging out.
That's his like socializing spot though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the great place where everyone congregates.
Do you feel like whenever you go over to someone else's place and you're hanging out, you're always like in the kitchen talking to them?
The kitchen always seems to be where people wind up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're getting a drink.
Like at parties,
Snack.
like people always congregate at the kitchen.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question to Anthony?
Sure.
Do you prefer being here or at the Press-Alike studio?
Oh, I prefer being here because there's so many people and you get to be in the mix of so many things. But the Press-Like studio, I used to live there, so I just feel like that's
true.
my old house.
That's true. Yeah.
It's funny because like I'm already getting like when I go to the Press-Like studio, I already get like nostalgic vibes going downstairs to where we like had everything for the sketches we
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
So, like there's still it says like Ian's room, no girls allowed.
And your shit, what was it called? The pee funnel?
Oh, the pee funnel. Is the pee funnel still there?
The pee
it might
funnel's
still be there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so funny because like we did the sketches like I don't know 9 months ago, but I went down there the other day and I was like, oh,
Oh, sketches.
Yeah,
that's
it was
awesome.
good. But I prefer here, I think, also because there's so much more room for
activities.
expansion and growth and
Yeah.
activities.
Sorry, that was a millennial reference.
Yeah, see,
Step
quotes.
Brothers. Yep.
Think good quotes.
Yep.
No, I agree. There's more couches here.
Yeah.
More comfier places to sit.
At Jithran23, what Olympic event do you think you have the best chance at winning?
Oh,
Is there
I'm
an
gonna pull up a list of.
Is there an Olympics for f***ing?
dude, right there.
That's awesome. That was awesome, man.
Yeah.
That was sick. That's a
Dude.
guy's joke. That's a joke for the
That's
guys.
sick.
Actually, if that were real, I wonder how high you'd place on there because I feel like it would not be very high.
Look at they renamed well, I don't know if they renamed it, but the synchronized swimming is called artistic swimming.
That's awesome.
I thought it used to be called synchronized swimming.
If I had to pick, I would say
my
either basketball because there's a team around me, and I think that I could theoretically either ride the bench or just a couple minutes maybe of the game, maybe get up put up a couple points, a couple free throws maybe, and that seems like a gimme. If I had to answer honestly, I did do high jump in high school,
Oh,
and I
you
think
look
that
like
if
you did high jump.
Yeah,
Oh,
if I think that there's a world, and maybe this is me being way overconfident, but I think that had I really committed to a sport, like something like high jump, like I think that I had the athletic ability to do well. It's just that I didn't really care to do it.
Like you want to play Valorant instead?
Yeah, I wanted to be a professional gamer. No, it was just one of those things. I also like went to a small school, and so we didn't actually have like a high jump coach for track. It was just one of the other coaches that kind of knew a little bit about high jump.
The closer to God you get?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why I like doing it so much. No, yeah, but I think if I had like put effort in, not saying that I could be like an Olympic athlete, but I think I could have like done it more.
Yeah. Did you get discouraged, or did you just like not want to put your time there?
No, I just didn't really care.
Yeah.
I just wasn't like a huge track. Track was one of those things that I did where it's like, it's like basketball off season. Like I'll stay in shape.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I could do speed walking.
Okay.
Because like you've seen those guys, they're all cheating.
Is there a speed walking? At least he's speed skating.
Ian also speed walks a lot of places.
And you guys know I walk fast already.
Sometimes you do a light jog.
You're running away from your problems, bro.
Yeah.
No, I'm speed walking away from them.
What's this shit called skeleton? Because I'm in.
No, that's it's like bobsled, but one person, and you face forward,
Dude!
and you go like 80 miles an hour.
Skeleton
or
racing, plummeting headfirst down a steep, treacherous ice track on a tiny sled.
You never seen that?
No, but that sounds horrifying.
Is that a
Yeah.
real thing that people still do?
Yeah,
That's
it's a Winter Olympics.
It looks like you're
thing.
begging to die.
Y'all have never seen this? It's crazy.
No, that's unreal.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna plummet head first 80 miles an hour down.
That helmet's not saving you if
It
you
also
run
says,
into a wall.
I didn't know this,
Yeah.
but it also says it was the first sliding sport.
Wow,
This is messed up.
that's crazy. Well, you learned something new.
Anyway, yeah, I'm skeleton.
do skeleton?
Skeleton.
All right, cool.
It's because you
wanna
become a skeleton pretty damn quickly after you try
It's
it.
true. I think we solved the age-old question of which generation was best, and that is boomers,
Yeah.
because they benefited from the Great War, and well, at least Americans did, and they enjoyed a lot of wealth.
Yeah.
We don't get it.
And they got to pollute the planet without any repercussions.
Without any repercussions, yeah. No, so like, big ups to boomers. Hope you had a good run. Thank you for the world you left us, and we'll be sure to try to leave Alpha in a worse place.
That was a good speech.
That was really good.
You should be president.
I'm gonna try. It's gonna be me versus Mr. Beast. Bye.